Hello, good morning, dear students. Due to some technical issues, I am unable to take yesterday's class. So, let's begin with today's class. Today is 11th September, and we will start reading this Indian Express news headline. Okay, we all know we are here for the detailed explanation of editorial page and the economy page. So keep watching, and if you like my videos, please like, share and subscribe. Thank you. So before going to the editorial page, we will read the news headlines of each page. Okay, so if any student who want PDF, then please comment down on my videos. I will definitely provide them. Okay, so keep watching. 13,000 prisoners escape from jails in Nepal and violent protest clashes. This is the condition of Nepal and the protest by Gen Zs, how they protest. At least 13,000 prisoners, too big amount, 13,000 prisoners. Just wait, I have to take highlighter to remark important words. This is the good, okay. Why I am unable to take? Okay. Why it removes? Okay. So the data is 13,000 prisoner. Okay. Okay. So this is the data. Nepal police. This is the Nepal police condition, and the situation of Nepal is getting worse due to the protest by judges. Already, the PM of Nepal, the KP Sharma Oli, who get resigned from their post on Tuesday. Okay, so this is the condition of Nepal. Qatar PM slams Netanyahu's barbarism after Doha strike. Arab leader pledged support. UAE President lends to solitary MBBS to arrive today. She is Sushila Karki, jurist with anti-corruption reputation, Nepal's first woman Chief Justice. They are the reason for this protest in Nepal. Who is Khalil Al-Hayya, senior Hamas figure targeted by Israel? Poland says it shot down Russian drones. New French PM enters office and amid protest. Okay. Allowing 2024 Biden candidacy was recklessness, says Kamala Harris in her book. So this is the next slide. Nepal Army, condition of Nepal Army chief steps in. Ex-chief justice agrees to be interim head. Okay. So what is the words of Trump? Let's read. Trump signals and Rachel Modi says India, US close friends. If anyone who want detailed explanation, then go to please page number 2, because in this paragraph there is a topic between our PM Modi and the US President, and their relation. So if anyone who want to read, then please go to the second page. Pan India SIR focus on matching rules to last revision. Election Commission tells CEOs. This is the it's from Bihar, that vote chori condition. Anger remittances, economic terrorism. Why social media was trigger. Border closed, many struck came for tuition in morning, can't return. Which border? Near Kasi Vishwanath, another project and text notice sparked displacement fear. Okay. Nepal Army Chief steps in XCG in interim head. This is the detailed explanation of that 2 slides. Okay. So who those students who want to read, then please go to read it. It is the news about the city. House complex of Kathputli colony renamed, first batch to be ready by December. Okay. We are in 2025. High Court reps Delhi government for running schools from tin shed classroom. Condition of education system of India. This is the condition. Some points are getting highlighted, some topics are getting highlighted, and some are just throwing in the garbage. So no one touch it. No one want to expose that idea and that thing, that topic. That's the reason of India is a still developing country. Place PM photo near Durga's fit to get him blessings, CM tells organizer. Court tells journalist to pay 10,000 to another for liking defamatory post on X. This is just irrelevant news. We have to focus on mainly the important news, and after that we have to focus on editorial and economy page, because the student, the aspirant of RBI grade B, those who want to work on central bank, or those student, the aspirant of UPSC, the main page they have to focus on editorial page, and the second page is economy page. So just read that thoroughly. I'm not telling to not read these topics, but just read the headlines if there is some relevancy. If not relevant, then skip it. Okay. So how is it false alarm when bills kept pending for 4 years? Supreme Court asks centers to curb fake news, panel back mandatory fact check mechanism. Okay. Naga blockade ahead of PM's likely visit chalk supply to Manipur. This is government and politics news. So we have to skip that page. 3 Shakti model. What are the 3 Shakti model? Earth Shakti, Srijan Shakti, Jivan Shakti. Earth Shakti means economic growth, Srijan Shakti means innovation and education, Jivan Shakti means social well-being, and these are the key sector where it highlights. These are the 3 missions of this Shakti, and these are the 3 themes. I'm unable to get the highlighter. From next class, I will definitely learn how to get the highlighter. If I take highlighter now, the students unable to get. That's good. How to remove this one? Okay, from next class I will get a different solution for it. There's no cross, no nothing option. So okay, don't worry. This, oh, and this is a 3 mission. This is the theme. and this is the focus area. Okay. Finally, we are at the editorial page. Word wise. Before reading this article, we have to look at this word. Only the dead have seen the end of war. This is mainly about if a person is die or sacrifice their life in any war, they know the war will end because their lives end at that place. That's why they say, the author want to say, only the dead have seen the end of war. Okay. So the founder of the Indian Express newspaper is Ramnath Goenka. The return of Chindia Modi XI meeting hint a new chapter after years of silence, but old mistrust and new asymmetries persist. If I pronunciate any word wrongly, mistakenly, then please forgive me because in flow, I pronunciate that words in wrong way. Okay, so this article is mainly about the Modi and the Jinping meeting, the Prime Minister Modi. How to highlight it? I'm just getting irritated. Why this page is not removing from the why this slide? Hmm. This is the President Jinping and this is the PM Modi. Okay, this is the meeting. So the SCO, Shanghai Cooperation Organization, it is held in China. So this passage is all about this. So firstly, we will explain the theme. The main theme of this passage is the India and China relationship. Okay. So oh, that's good. I think everyone able to see it. Those students who are unable to see, then please tell me because I am able to see it. Okay. So the article mainly explains. I think they are not able to see. Students are not able to see. I'm using it in laptop. That's why I'm able to see all the words clearly. Those who are watching with their smartphones, they are unable to see the words clearly. That's why I'm removing that highlighter. Okay. So let's begin with the editorial first topic. The main explanation of this editorial is that the article situates India-China relationship in broader shifting world order, US-China rivalry, BRICS expansion, global economic changes. Tharoor highlights the symbolic importance of Modi and Jinping meeting after years of silence, which could mean some thaw after the Galwan border clash of 2020. Anyone know what's the in that clash? What happened? What had happened? He revised the idea of Chindia. The meaning of Chindia. I will explain the meaning of Chindia. Here is the word Chindia. Okay, I will explain the word meaning of Chindia, the main idea of Chindia. A term once used to imagine India and China as complementary powers, not rival. Okay, at this is the main meaning of the word Chindia. When both the countries not complementary with when they both are complementary powers. This is the main idea of this word Chindia. Okay, the idea was both could benefits by cooperating economically, leveraging their huge market, cheap labor, and technological potential. This is in two paragraphs. This is the main idea. Okay, so Hmm. In this passage, the author want to say that the the main point is the main point that the author want to point out is that this optimism has eroded because of asymmetries, and the asymmetries is just China. China's economy is fifth larger, okay, and Beijing invests heavily in Belt and Road, Africa, and global infrastructure in India. Okay, the piece is reflective. It does not say India is back, but not the meeting or as a tentative opportunity amidst structural rivalries. Okay, so if I read all the paragraph, it takes too much time, so I will definitely try to explain. So the I already explained in a summary of this whole passage, mainly about the structure and the relationship military, economy, and political cannot be whisked away. Okay, these are the things that keep in mind. So at the heart of Modi dialogue, this is the point. At the heart of Modi being Exai dialogue has reaffirmation of a principle that ideally ought to be self-evident that has long been exclusive. The India and China has can be developed not just rivalry. The assertion that differences should not turn into disputes is more than diplomats' boilerplate. It represents a conscious effort to de-escalate the dominant rhetoric since 2020, when it was all Hindu Chini bye bye. In the era of global volatility, where trade wars flare and alliances shift with alarming speed, such clarity is welcome. Okay, this is the idea. Okay, 2020 the visas are restricted, and there are high clashes between India and China. And after that classes in SEO meet, they in the SEO meet they come with come with each other. Okay, in the same way, in the same relation. Striking at will, we will not going there. The elegant observer. In this passage, what the author Rakesh Sinha want to say, Sankarshan Thakur's journalism stood out for its depth and empathy. What's the main idea? It is written here. Be it Kashmir or Bihar, in the turmoil and politics that he captured so well to tell any India story. His reportage stood out for the richness of detail, the portrayal of characters, the ominous warning of what could follow. Knowing him, however fleeting our meeting, this was one Bihar election he could have loved to write that was not to be. This is about the Bihar's election, how this happened and what that happened. So in the passage, author want to say that mainly the editorial is about the news. What's about the certain topic, and the author want to explain their own points of view. Okay, so let's read it. In 2014, muggy August afternoon in Kathmandu, roadside cafe, Carlsberg on the table, we have been shooed away from the street. Can anyone tell me the meaning of shooed? Shoot. मीन्स हटो हटो, भगाओ कोई चीज को ऐसे. ठीक है. Security men were talking no chance to let Modi, the first Indian PM to visit Nepal in 17 years. Okay, as he awaited, wondering what should be highlighted on the day's dispatch, Shankaran Thakur, who had once been a colleague of Indian Express, asked if I had read Barbara Kingsolver only one, the poison word Bible. I said, Demon Copperhead was still 8 years away, and the few minutes in forgetting what we were here for. We need to write, he said. You want to write that in 2008 speech at Duke University I did what author did. A month later I made a note making thanking him but never did. There was a writer and then there was a write and there are writer Shankaran was in the latter category and with his passing today a certain elegance is gone. Memory is only a little about memorizing, he would say, writing in the telegraph, the newspaper he was to edit later. Sankaran recalled his mother's memory of his father Janardhan Thakur, the author and the journalist who had passed away in 1999. Okay, so what happened? He said, it isn't you, it's your father. They meet. The author meet in Kathmandu 2015. Devastating earthquake. And this is the line. He said he had been writing the brothers Bihari, where he put together an early work on Lalu Prasad and Nitish Kumar was due for release ahead of Bihar Assembly election that year. The conversation ended quickly. We got back to reporting the dead and the misery and the sorrow of the life. I remember his line about the banks of the Bagmati running out of the ground to step pyres. So, in the Kashmir and Bihar turmoil, the reporters and the ominous warning soon there. This is about the Kathmandu and the Modis. Locked to Nepal. Indian TV channels turned to Shankaran and asked him, want to extend the location to Nepal? Terrible, isn't? Stop at, see me put it out. The episode stayed with us. He would bring it up each time we met. So this is about the whole idea of this editorial. Okay, so let's move to the economy page in detail. This is the important slide. Every student read it. Himachal declared fully literate. What does this mean? If any student who comment me to explain whole newspaper from next day onward, I will explain all the news line by line and thoroughly. If any student wants. Mainly I try to explain editorial and economy page. Today's gold rate, it's about 1,13,000 and I think till the end of the year it rises up to 2 lakh, and this is the huge inflation in India's economy. Automaker braces for hit for on PLI benefit as RE magnet curves from China continue. Okay. Inflows into equity MFs fall 22% to 13,403 crore in August. First bit about this, the automakers braces for hit on PLI benefit as magnet curves from China continue. Firstly, I want to highlight for automakers who have qualified under the deduction linked incentives. Why this highlighter didn't work? I think this will work. This will work. So everyone read these lines thoroughly. This is the important line of the passage. Okay. I already highlight, so I remove. Okay. For automakers who have qualified under India's Production Linked Incentive PLI Production Link Incentive scheme for automobiles and auto components, imports of complete car parts and complete component from China could bring down their domestic value addition, which is a key requisite to be eligible for incentives. The Production Link Incentives scheme has mandated a target of 50% local value addition. This is the impact of complete component import of production link incentive. This is the main headline. So what is happening? What is happening? The automakers in India, Maruti, Tata, Mahindra, EV startups are struggling because China has restricted export of rare earth magnets. Oh, that's very bad. Still, India is facing high tariff from USA, and this is the news where China restricted export of rare earth magnets. After that, rare earth magnets are critical for electric motors, EV batteries, wind turbines, and electronics. Without them, India is manufacturing slow. India's production link incentives (PIL) production link incentive scheme rewards automakers if they source locally and reduce imports. Same, but since parts are available, companies are being forced to import fully assembled components from outside, meaning they may lose PLI benefits since local value addition drops. This is the main idea of this passage. So if I explain in detail of this passage, so firstly I have to increase the screen size. I have to remove the highlighter and wait. In this way, I will show you. Okay. So if I explain the headline of part, this part. So the PLI scheme was designed to promote domestic manufacturing, reduce dependence on China, and make India an export hub. This is the main idea. Okay, China's control over rare earth magnets. Okay, this is the control by China. Mineral is overwhelming. Nearly 90% of world's supply chain passes through it. By curbing supply, Beijing indirectly hurts India EV dreams. Okay, rare earth magnet. This is import from China to India. So India want to increase its exporting hub. This is the main idea. So the author want to say that mainly 90% of world supply chain pass through China. By curbing supplies. Okay, so if I read it thoroughly, we conclude that from China and Vietnam, which is more expensive, what the supplies of rare magnet, several such as stopgap arrangement are being figured out by automobile industries. There was an expectation that after the SCO summit, the supply would be restart, but that has not materialized on the ground. Producing rare earth magnet in India will take 3-4 years, and it cannot happen immediately. There are several parts of the supply chain. India has some of it, but not the entire process to produce rare earth magnet. India has some of it, but they don't have they not have entire process to produce earth magnet. This is the main idea, which could drive price up, which could increase the price, where PIL scheme for automobile and auto components. This scheme mainly aims to increase India's automobile sector. The PLI scheme has mandated a target of 50% local value addition. This is SU Shanghai Cooperation Organization Summit. Uh, this is held in China, where it is between two countries, there could be some easing from Beijing side. It maintain over exporting critical minerals. So according to PM Modi, the government aware RE, rare earth magnets, to shortage issues and trying to address it with rupees 16,300 crore critical mineral mission, which would entail more than 1,200 exploration for critical mineral across various locations in India. Earlier this month, the Union Cabinet also cleared rupees 1,500 crore a scheme for recycling batteries. It is by the Indian government. We already read about this news that 1,500 budget is announced for this scheme, where Indian Express had earlier reported the automaker are cut down the certain equipment in the vehicle, reducing age of rare earth as uncertainty over China. Green light, Royal Enfield. This is the brand of motorcycle. I mean bike. So, which two-wheelers brand. So the magnet is in a gear position sensor. The use of that rear magnet that we already talked, and the use of that magnet is for gear position. I have to take highlighter. Okay, so ongoing shortage of rare earth mineral, which are manufactured in rear position sensors. Okay, so this is this essential application including automobile transmission, throttle, body, sensor, seat belts, power steering, power window, and cameras. These are the things where Chinese government not imposing outright export of rare earth magnet. Some applications were routed through Ministry of Commerce, but then Beijing instead that they be awarded by India's Ministry of External Affairs with the end-use certification often insisted upon in most cases of China's side. This is the scenario. Finally, the RIS, the India's RIS, the system of the Research and Information System of India and for developing countries, RIS. India is almost 100% imported dependent for 13 critical minerals, and these are the 13 critical minerals where India is mainly dependent: beryllium, chromium, germanium, graphite, lithium, silicon, strontium, limestone, and the rhodium, tantalum, zirconium. Science student can able to read it thoroughly. Niobium and the rare earth element. These are the minerals. There is a scarcity in India. So this is the condition. So okay, The African continent is the African country is home to around 30%, and this is the African country is about its home of 30% minerals. Okay, world mineral, and the 90% of chromium and platinum, along with the largest reserve of cobalt in the world. This is the condition of African continent, where there is a highest mineral, and there is 90% mineral of chromium and platinum. And this shows how the countries are interrelated with each other. This shows, but the condition of India is getting worse. So this is the next headline. This is all about the China and India's and the export of minerals, mainly about the RE, rare earth magnet. So this is all about this. And if I read it thoroughly, so the next news is tariff hits on GDP growth at 0.3 to 0.2 to 0.3 in fiscal year 2026. GST reform to negate impact CEA. What this article mainly says? What happened? The main thing that happened in this is that CEA, Chief Economic Advisor, has calculated that the new global tariff from trade war, US-China tensions, European Union's carbon tax, etc., will slow down India's GDP by 0.2 to 0.3% in fiscal year 26. This is the condition of India, that in the coming fiscal year 26, the GDP of India is decreased from 0.2 to 0.3%. This is the main idea of the passage. Where, however, India implementation GST reforms, so that's why India implemented GST reforms, and that GST reform, we all know that it is announced by our Finance Minister Nirmala Sitharaman, and that GST reform is GST 2.0. Okay, and it implements from the first day of Navratri, September 2022. So, if we explain the main idea of this passage, so the main idea is India is not pursuing alternatives to US dollar for global trade. Okay. So this is the main idea, that India is not want to pursue as an alternative of US dollar for global trade. So the chief CA, who is it? V. Anantha Nageswaran. Okay, on Wednesday, name, just remember the name. I will highlight it. CA Anantha Nageswaran. On Wednesday, he said that India is not pursuing any proposal to replace US dollar as international currency for global trade. No certainty, not. I think India is not a part of such initiative, he said in response to a question if India is looking at an alternative currency to the US dollar for global trade. Although last year at the BRICS summit held in October in Kazan, Russia, India, and other BRICS nations had contemplated settlement and cross-border payment in local currency, and had agreed for creation of special BRICS currency. This is the main idea. Okay, so the GST, the reforms which due to the impact of 50% tariff by US government. So this is, so the CA V Anant Nageswaram said that this way, and GST tax slab reduced from 4 slab to 2 slabs, and the new GST rates, and The council introduced 40% to be imposed on sane and luxury goods. Nearly 400 products will cost less due to this regime. This is new tax regime, GST, and due to new tax level of GST, and it implements from September 2022. I already told about this line. So GST reform mainly creating domestic demand and therefore removing uncertainty, and that will come in the way of capital formation, he said while addressing an event organizing by AIMA. Although, so first meant consumption, he exclude confidence and tariff situation will turn transient and short-lived there rather than long-lived. This is the mainly the condition. But in the event that it lasts longer, that we want to especially in panel tariff on 25 September. Just a second. Okay, I'm here. So the second and third round where I'm the second and third round where the uncertainty and the respect to invest capital formation overall sentiments in the economy, he said. So this is the CEA said the GST reform would not only boost domestic consumption but more importantly it provides an antidote to second and third round of tariff impact. So net, I think if you take the GST into consideration, the impact of tariff and the compensating effect of GST rate reduction and process reform could probably give us zero. This is the drag. This how this will reduce. Okay, so the GDP that we have. 6.3%, it will reduce it to 6.8% for the current financial year, he said. So because of the tariff, the 25% penalty on crude oil and the 25% kicked from August 27 by the Trump on Indian goods, along with the it's a long trade barrier, and this tariff is not good for any. If I say this tariff is just uh, depletion, this is the depletion, this is the main reason for depletion of India's economy. This deployment, that's very bad, and India has to face a lot from this. So inflows into equity MFs fall 22% to rupees 33,403 crores in August. Inflows into large cap fund rise, while net inflows into small cap funds were down 23% month on month in August to 4,992.91 crore. Mid cap inflows clipped 3% to 15,330.62 crores. Inflows into large cap fund rose 33% to 2,834.88 crore. Gold ETF garnered 2,189.51 crore up to 1,256.09 crore in July. This is the inflows into large cap fund rise. How this is all about the data of equity fund and equity. And any student who hear about the equity share and preference share, I think if any commerce student are watching this, they able to know what do you mean by equity share and the preference share. But in this passage, we talk about equity mutual fund. Okay, and it's getting declined, and this is the number how it get declined, and this is the Association of Mutual Fund in India. They showed us the data. and the decline is mainly due to the tariff, and the domestic market of this indices. Sensex Nifty fell from 1.69% to 1.38% in August. This is the share market data, and the depletion of economy is caused by the decrease in percentage of these share values and share amount. And another thing, SIP, system invested plan. So the positive equity. So this is all about how the data, this all data shows the fund and the shares, how it deflates and how it decreases. So this is the idea. This is the whole idea of the passage. Okay. So we already in yesterday's newspaper there is a headline that the CEO of iPhone, Tim Cook, I think the name is Tim Cook, has launched iPhone 17, and this is the thinnest. This will be the thinnest iPhone ever. That was the news. For Indian customer, iPhone Air could be confusing choice. And I also read that the logo of iPhone is getting changed from someday from some after some time. I think that was the news. So the editorial page ends. Okay, this is about the social media news. Meta TikTok win challenges against European Union. EU means European Union compliances fees for digital service. This is all about this. Okay, so we end with the main pages. When the rate of gold is decreased, um, I love I love all the minerals, whether it's gold, silver, anything. I love all the metals. This is about the sports news, and here we end our PDF. I mean to say that we end this newspaper, and if anyone who have any doubt, then please comment down me. I will able to answer all the questions that any student who want to ask, and who like my content, then please like, share and subscribe. Okay, so thank you. Have a nice day.